get a little trinket, right? Sometimes I get a bowl of strawberries for Yemi. She likes the strawberries. I get a big bowl of strawberries, put it up there just for the day. Just for the day. Make a libation with it at nighttime. You know, you got to learn how to make your connections and be consistent with them. That way you blocking out that white noise, right? And you blocking out that black noise too. You can start to hear your divinity more. Certain things start not to be important to you. You're like, I don't need to do that. I'm cool. I could be reserved. Something that happened and you don't even react to it. You don't even respond like you used to. That's what I was saying, your awareness expands and your consciousness expands. When you start to add more routine, but that's all ritual is. It's a sexy way of saying routine, right? You didn't enhance your routine. And instead of just showering, shaving, or putting on your makeup, you're doing 4 or 5 other things and you're doing them consistently. And it begins to compound over time. And that consistent activity starts to generate circuitry that allows that energy to bring you to a copious event. You know, it brings your life to a crescendo that will leave you empowered and enlightened, you know, beyond the limitations of not doing it. You know, that's how I got so far where I'm at in my life. You know, I never been shot. I've been in all type of little bullshit now. I don't think I'm a damn angel. I'm not no goody angel like that. Right? But what I'm saying is, way before something could even get in the way of doing something to me, it never did because I always prioritized, you know, my foundation. I'm going to make my prayers. I'm going to do my meditations. I'm going to do my affirmations every day. Even if I don't feel like it, it's on autopilot. I got shit I do in the shower, right? And it's like, when I get out the shower, it's hardwired. It's so hardwired to the point. I always do this sometimes, especially if I start talking to people too early. I pour my libations twice and forgot, like, damn, I did. Because what happened? I go to sleep late. And I wake up early, do my libations, and be forgetting that the days have spilt over into one another because I don't sleep that long. And I looked in the plan, I'm like, damn, I'm about to pour the libation. I was like, fuck it, let me pour it out again anyway. And I'll pour another libation. And I just set up the candle grid just then went out from the last time I had went. And I was like, ah, shit. That's how I go. I almost meditated twice a day too, because I didn't go to sleep. Like my fire is a little bit off because I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I still jumped right back up. You know, that dream tech had you doing that, and you don't be tired. You be refreshed and alert. You know what I mean? I'm like, let me just go ahead and clear my desk. So you've been falling asleep while meditating. Well, what you need to do, Beverly, is meditate in the morning or in the AM. Don't meditate at nighttime. If you have a busy household, you may want to just wake up ahead of everyone else, right? 3 to 4 in the morning. Dedicate yourself to getting up a little bit extra early. And I'll say reserve 10 minutes just to sit in silence. You know what I mean? They're right, like an hour before sunset. Yeah. Yeah, if you're working, it depends on your schedule. Yeah. It depends on your schedule. One of my students, Mel, shouts out to Grandmaster Melly Mel. But Grandmaster Melly Mel, she would get up. I think she had to be at work at like 8 o'clock. She would get up at 4 in the morning. And I be telling people too, if you know you work in the morning time, the stuff that you know that you was gonna do after work at home, do that. Get up extra early and do that shit before you go to work, and watch how fast your work day go by. Because now you ain't got to get off of work and look forward to doing the things that you was gonna do when you get off. You done did that shit beforehand, so you done had your cake and ate it too before you went to work. And by lunchtime, you're gonna be like, damn, the day over with now. And now you could carve that piece of time out for your meditation or do it prior, But whenever you decide to do it, designate that time every day. Don't look for an instant result. Just have that designated time that when you do that, you don't have to devote more than 20 minutes to your meditations. The reason why I say 20, because you want to spend 10 minutes in silence before you even go into meditation, But y'all get a ticket, y'all come on out, and we're going to run through the meditation. I'm going to show you guys how to do it the appropriate way and give you some insightful clues and instructions and examples. Because I could tap right on in. Like, I've been doing it for years, though. And but my methods do work. And people that have used them, they attest to that. We have it in Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be in Atlanta, really in Duluth, Georgia. That's outside of Atlanta proper. But that's March the 7th and the 8th. And on the 6th, on March the 6th, we getting together. And we're going to meet up at the park, show you guys how to ground. I mean, that ain't really too deep or methodical to ground. But we're going to get in the grounding. I'm going to show y'all how to inhale the sunlight, the breathing techniques involved. You get a live presentation of that. Show you guys, we're going to go over meditation for those that struggle with that. Give you some nice visualization techniques. And, even do a little short bout of meditation, right? And, all the VIP ticket holders, they get hit with the staff. I'm going to hit y'all with the staff at the park, And when I sell a certain amount of VIPs, y'all will know that it ain't no more because I'm going to take that shit down, Because that staff will get me going and shit. So I don't want to reserve that day. Then we going to do the Jeju spa for those that want to go, That's going to be $40. You can stay there for 24 hours. So if you want to spend a night at the Jeju, you can. And, meet us in the morning because the seminar going to be like 5 minutes away from the Jeju. I coordinated it perfect this time, you guys. We done been to Atlanta so much. I was like, you know what? We ain't got to be by the airport. Let's go out there to where we going to want to go to any damn way. That way we ain't got to fight no traffic. You just get on out there and you stay out there and do your thing there. I want to say they got some good little karaoke spots. We usually get up and do karaoke. Shouts out to Mother Edinburgh and Ragu L. Ragu L, they burnt the karaoke joint down. Mother Edinburgh burnt that shit down. That shit shocked everybody that night. And then the next time Ragu came and burnt that mug down. Because he wasn't there when Mother Edinburgh was there that time. But when Ragu came and he did that Kim, man, that brother burnt that shit, boy. Look at D, she clapped. And that was after the event. So, you gotta have balance. You can't just have all of this deep, serious, esoteric knowledge and not balance it out with something else. But we kick our hair back, we pull our hair back, or let our hair down. Now, I can't let my hair down, but after the seminar, we let our hair down a little bit, Just to balance it out, you know. Keep everything on a grounded level. Keep it in a realistic range. You know, this is nothing religious. I'm gonna have me a couple of shots of that Jack. I'm just putting if I have some shots of Jack, I take mine straight with no ice. You hear me? But I'm not an alcoholic or nothing like that. Just for educational purposes only, TikTok. I'm not influencing or advocating for people to use liqueur. Right? But we do have good time at these events. Yeah, how much are tickets? The tickets are $222 per day, right? And you get a VIP. VIP tickets are $528. People that get the VIP tickets, I don't have one on right now, but you get a chest plate and you get a DreamTech Ultra with that ticket. So you automatically got two of the most advanced pieces of tech that I do sell in the public domain, right? So you're gonna get a chest plate and you get the DreamTech Ultra, you know, and you get to ask more questions than everybody too. I will give you that exclusivity. You get that exclusivity. He said, in the oil, I didn't say the oil go come with it, did I? If it is, then the oil in there too. It ain't no big thing. No, 2 days. It's 2 days. That first day, the third day, or that Friday, y'all not paying for that. But everybody that get a ticket, y'all come to that too. Y'all get to kick it with me the whole day, that whole Friday. You know, we do that anyway. Right, D? Yeah, the first day you get to kick it with me. We call that the day with Dr.Ré. It's just this time I've got to show people how to ground because I know people don't be grounding and be like, no, I'm gonna take y'all through all of that shit. We going to the park. You know, y'all should know how to hug the tree and shit, but I got some little special techniques I'm gonna show y'all. And y'all be like, damn, I ain't never know I could do that. I'm like, yeah, you could do this. You get to see me in real time, uh, walk you through it, do the exercises with you. You know, y'all gonna lock on in, man. I'm telling you, after you get hit with that staff, it ain't no turning back. The VIPs do get hit with the staff every day too. Y'all get hit with the staff at the park. You get hit with the staff the first day and the second day. But everybody else, you ain't got a VIP. Even my AAA people, I gotta just hit y'all ass one time, man. I gotta hit y'all one time. All right. That way I can come back because I gotta come back home too. That's a long ass drive for me. I got an 18-hour drive. Yeah. I know people be like, man, how come you don't be taking the plane? I can't take the plane. I can't put my staff on there. They gonna fuck my staff up on purpose. I just know it. My staff told me, like, yo, don't leave me. That lady gonna say, yeah, you can wrap it up. You better wrap it as best as you can. We're not responsible if something happens to that thing. I'm like, oh, fuck that. You go get a rental car. I'm out of here. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of love. You right about that, D. Shouts out to DIs. You know, she gonna read y'all and everything after I hit you with the staff. But it does be a real. We just gotta have love, y'all. That a hard guitar case? Nah, that mug too long. I would have to get like a cello, but no, I'm not gonna take no chances. It don't be worth it because then if they mess the staff up, I can't. You know, something might that part that broke off. It'll be the part that need to hit that person the most. And it might not be that way for DIs, but it might be that way for you. Something else might fall off that wasn't no significance to you, but it might have been to somebody else. So I don't put myself into, I don't give that an audience, the probability. I don't I don't get a probability an audience at all. Like, nah, I can go ahead and trek my way there. I'm a big boy. I done made that trip 7 times, and it holds me to the same standard as everyone else to get there, right? I like to put myself on the same measuring marker as everyone else. That's how serious this information is. And, you know, your dearly departed will be present. Uh, I'm not like my boy Congo. I can't tell your grandma name and what y'all did. I don't do all that. But I do pick up on the clairaudience. I have a clairaudience awareness to pull out from people's psychic center. I know y'all be feeling that sometimes. Like, damn, how that nigga know I was thinking that? I don't be knowing that y'all thinking that. It's just that my shit be open. I don't be. But y'all will get on that page too. Especially you get a VIP ticket. I just always tell people, after you get hit with that staff 3 days in a row, yo, you better start listening to your first mind. Stop not listening to your first mind. Especially if you get a VIP ticket. Let me say that again. You get a VIP ticket, you get hit with that staff 3 times. Each day you get hit with it. That next Monday, start listening to your first mind. Don't doubt it. Because your conscious mind is throbbing. You had to take self-inventory. You had to start doing meditation and stuff like that. If some of you feel like, oh, I don't be feeling no crystals, people say they feel it, I don't be feeling it. It's because you're not taking enough self-inventory. You're not going internally at the same rate that you're externally engaging this reality. You have to engage the inner verse. You hear people use understanding. You had to go 1089 degrees of understanding. But you had to have that much clarity on the internal aspects of who you are as you do externally, right? Then when you pick up the crystal, you will feel this resonance and this energy, and it'll end up popping up on your timeline, or you will get a crystal book. I tell people to get crystal books and stuff like that, so you will know what chakras are over, uh, overactive or underactive, what crystals resonate with you better than other ones, and what you could do in order to uh, better yourself, right? You want to make yourself a better person. And when you get access to these tools, like I said earlier, it's about your heart space. It's not necessarily about how much knowledge you get. Knowledge is necessary, but you got to have a great heart as well. And if your heart is in the right place, then you can access a lot more than you think that you're capable of doing. So that's what's more important, is making yourself a better person. And that way, when you use the words of power, when you use invocation, it works in your favor instead of against you, right? Now, I'll be doing people a disservice not to put that level of information out there. This is why I'm constantly telling people, yo, ask your questions. Anybody got any questions? I don't be meaning to be aggressive sometimes, but y'all see what type of what type of dumbasses I be dealing with on here, right? So I gotta keep it up. I gotta pull out the sword a lot of times. But aside from that, that's not who I am. And like D.I. said, these events do have a lot of positivity and a lot of love. That's something that I do bring to these events. And I look forward to people benefiting from what it is that I deposit into them, and having great reports. You know, shouts out to shouts out to Dejon Smith. Dejon Smith in our community. It's been under a year. He done been through some trials and tribulations, and man, it ain't even been a year, man. He done came a long way, man, from nothing to something in 9 months. And I got a lot of stories, and I'm talking to somebody out there now. That shit gonna happen for your ass too. It's gonna happen for you too. You just can't. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust yourself. You can't doubt yourself. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop being uncertain. Stop being doubtful and fearful. That's not you. You hear me? You take that quantum leap, and it's better than staying stagnant. See, the universe is about movement. Things have to consistently move. It's about constants. That's why I negate from overthinking. Some people say overthinking is good, but it's not. It stops you from moving forward. The quantum leap is sci-fi. It's not real physics. Yeah, but when I say quantum leap, I'm talking about quantum leap in timeline, right? I like to use Ricky as an example. And when Ricky came to Texas and he took the AAA discourse, workshop, and seminar, right? I know that's a lot. He didn't realize that one of his best friends had an altar. He didn't know about connecting to the dearly departed. You hear me? He had lost his grandmother, who he was quite close to, and didn't know that he could still connect to her. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Barrios. What's your point? Did you just come in here to just be a brass ass or what? Come on, man. Don't let me get on you. What the fuck? But anyway, he took that quantum leap, right? Because he wasn't expecting to run into me across his TikTok. That was not in his plan. He's like, man, what was this dude about? He started looking into me. He started looking, and then he looked a little bit further, and then it just pulled him on in, and then he ended up out here in Texas, and it took him on another trajectory when he went back home. He was not on that stuff that he was on. He wouldn't have never got on that if he didn't come across me. And he let me know that, and that come for a lot of people too, you know. But the primary reason that people come into this space, and Dee can confirm it now. She got to see it. That's why you got to do all that, Dee. But it's because a lot of you guys are not doing enough for your people that have transitioned. And you owe them some type of debt of gratitude. They need your assistance, man. Y'all not willing to assist them. You might be willing to assist them, but you just don't know what to do. That's why I tell y'all to pour a libation for them. Tell their stories, right? Don't tell them the people that already know them. You got to find people that don't know those stories. And that's what brings them up out of that pocket dimension and starts opening up the faculties of their higher senses, right? Because it's a higher probability rate that they had to return and incarnate again. So, my people do all that they can. They're doing all that they can over there. They already done talk to your grandmama, your granddaddy, your uncle, your cousin. They done already came across my mama. They done already came across her, And my mama putting the people in order and getting them to do all type of different shit. They over there together and not in the same location either. But some people don't think this stuff, that's not what's going on. That's until they ass end up over there. I got a host of friends and people that have come across me in this life. They probably had some type of doubt, and now they on that side, and they depending on me burning some ancestor money for them right now. That's how serious this is. And because you don't have access to your mind's eye and the aperture of what it's capable of perceiving, doesn't mean it's not going on. It's just that you're not preparing for that, right? But when the student is ready, the teacher will appear every time. You know what I'm saying? The teacher will appear. It's not like you got to be ready for that. And then you will. That's what I mean for the brother that was trying to be a brass ass. Thank you, timekeeper. That's when you take that quantum jump. You quantum jump from the timeline that you was on. And what you got to realize, Mr. Brainiac, is that when you're dealing with spirituality, it transcends the laws of physics. It transcends your rationale and your logic. It transcends explanation. You hear me? And for someone like you, it really got to hit you upside the head for you to see that, oh shit, this shit is for real. This wasn't no bullshit. And it'll happen. Come on out to my event and you'll see. You'll be like, oh shit, there has to be some type of explanation. He's doing something, not doing nothing. Get them chakras spinning in the right direction. The orbs start flying up out your ass. And D eyes pull you in the room. See, D, that's why, I be wanting to call you sometimes, and then I know you be wanting to call me sometimes. But some be making us not call or keep that space just for the integrity of what we've been doing, this little thing we got going on here. Just for that. Just so people will just see, like, oh, like, me and D do not chop it up every day. She get on my ass when it's time for seminar. She'd be there to help me. You know what I mean? Just that. What you need help with, Doc? I'm coming today. Thank you, D. Bless your heart. D is so sweet. But, she starts writing that shit down on your ass, and she take you out in the hallway, and that shit is beyond explanation. That's not something that's orchestrated or nothing like that. You'll see it for yourself because it's going to be something relative to you. I'm just there the first day or the first time I hit you with the staff, what I do is I put your consciousness online with the crystals. So now you can start working with the crystals. If you haven't been hit with the staff before, I got to get that disclaimer. Yes, tickets are still available on the website. It's still there. If it's not available, I'm going to take it down. So if it's still up there, it's still up there. Yeah, 1089techvision.com. Yeah, Dia Oz is, man, she's an angel. That's my girl. That's my boo-boo. That's my boo-boo. She be holding it the fuck down, man. But I seen when D's conscious, when she was able to do that. And it was the seminar before you did it, D. I seen it. I thought you was going to say I thought you was going to say something then. But I see you was a little bit, holding back. I was like, man, she ain't activated yet. She done been hit with that staff a few times. I thought she'd be doing something. And then that last time, you was like, I want to say something, but I don't want to offend nobody. I was like, what? She was like, I see something. I was like, D, come on. But she'd have been hit with that staff. And I do certain words of power and sequence of power when I'm administering that staff on you. So after you done been hit with it, after you done came to a few events, like, don't constipate that shit. Let that shit out. Whatever your gift is, it's attempting to show itself. Don't be ashamed, you guys. Let it on out. And that's why we established the community the way that we did. Because at first, a couple of people in the community got offended by DIs. They're like, yo, how the fuck you able to, who the fuck told you to be looking at me like that? I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm like, but I'm like, yo, this is DIs. This is, come on, man. What is she, come on, really? You know, she trying to tell you what she seen. That's it. You know, but two people spazzed out, but everybody else, y'all know D. So when she take you into the all and she telling you that shit, she not trying to be spying in on you. Spying is a person, that's what a lot of tarot readers be doing, right? That's what a lot of them be doing. Not all of them. I'm just saying some be doing that. When they attacking you with that shit. You know, I always get an inbox, a girl telling me some shit that I got going on. Like, goddamn. Like, yeah, am I good? You think I'm a good psychic? Like, no, you just invaded my fucking psychic's private space. I know all the shit that you showed me. Like, you just basically said, I know how to tap into you and and look and see what the fuck you got going on without your permission. That's what you basically saying when you come into my inbox and asking me about all the things that you can see. Exactly. Like, come on, that's an invasion of a person's privacy, and you abusing having access to that, you know, that degree of connectivity. This is what I'm talking about, you guys. That some people it corrupts them. If they get access to their higher senses too soon, it could corrupt people. So your heart has to be in the right place. You follow? And they don't know. I call those feral spirits. People that don't have a spiritual foundation. If you don't have, you haven't been initiated or certified by someone, and you belong to some type of order of things, and you feral, you know, like a feral cat or a feral dog. I'm not saying that you a dog or a cat for anyone that it may be applying to. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you wild. You don't have there's no form to what you're doing. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. You just out there wild like a motherfucker. You a leaf in the wind, you know, and that's not good to be like that. You know? You just see somebody else doing tarot cards. You just want to pick that shit up and start doing tarot too. They're like, oh man, anybody could just do. Like, yeah, but you don't know that being might got something already tapped in that they didn't tap into sometimes. And he said somebody did that shit to you. Yeah, man. I call that psychic spying. You a psychic spy. Did nobody ask you that? I did not ask you to solicit what was going on in my consciousness to me. And because you able to do that, don't mean that you psychic. Tell me some shit that I don't know that's gonna happen that's gonna benefit my ass. If you're not coming to me with that shit, like, look, you need to play this number on Tuesday. Make sure you play it at 3:00 at this store. I don't know the name. I don't know what it is in your city, but it's on this block. You look that shit up, like, damn, for real? Like, yeah. And after you hit that shit, give me $300 for my services. That's when you being of assistance. But you coming to me and telling me some shit already fucking. You telling me some shit I already know that I just ain't told nobody? You think you impressing me? See, I've been on that monatomic gold. I got about 2 pounds of gold in my body, right? I've ingested over 2 pounds of gold. And both hemispheres of my brain is working. It's like, man, if you get over on me, it's because I'm letting you get over on me just to see how far you gonna fucking go before I actually do respond. And by the time I respond, it ain't shit you can do about it. I done gave you enough space and grace to redeem yourself. You know, I play chess. I don't play checkers. But aside from that, people need to be aware of this. And I'm glad that I brought that back up concerning, you know, the tarot predators is what I like to call them. Not all of them, because some of them, like, they tell you, like, I never inbox you. That's why they be telling y'all that. Not for the people that be scamming and be cloning their page. It be for that too. But on a subtle note, I'm just putting it out there. Sorry, psychic ladies, but I got to put it out there so people will know. You know, but when some of them be saying that, that's what they be meaning. Like they'll never come into your inbox and try to tell you what's going on in your life and shit like that. but those people that do that shit, they're very feral. They don't belong to no type of coven. Not to say that it's a witch coven, but just to say that. He said Mountain Valley. No, this is eternal. That's all I drink is eternal. They didn't have my big bottle. I like to get the big bottle, but they didn't have it. So I got a small one. Yeah. And I haven't ate nothing today. This is all I ate today. This and a cup of coffee. I did have some other water too. I drank I do have Mountain Spring. I use Mountain Spring, Texas Mountain Spring water. Yeah, we be running through that. We run through water around these parts. We pouring them libations. You know, got the bubbles in the glass. No, this not a glass bottle. It's BPA free. It's expensive now. It's $4 for a gallon of this. But I'm telling you, it ain't no water tastes like eternal. If you know, you know. Y'all tap the screen for me. Excuse me, guys. I have to really believe myself. Anybody else? Any other questions? She said, I got you stocked up. Oh, D. Thank you, D. Yeah, go ahead, Beverly. You can ask as many questions as you want to. Just got to get that disclaimer. That's why I say y'all got any questions. D be looking out, man. He'll tell y'all, man. D, man. He didn't tap in. He's like, oh, man. Look at her art before she started putting the tech on. After she put it. Oh, I just know what I'm doing, man. I know what I'm doing with that organ. It go beyond just fighting the radiation in yourself. I meditate with my organ. I used to have this one brother. He was kind of feral. I don't know what the hell was going on, but this being the Reiki he was doing, he had a dog that was blind, And it had dementia. He had a dog that had dementia. He had another dog that couldn't run, like his leg was broken. He was trying to do Reiki on his animals, on his farm animals too. Shit wasn't working. I mean, it was working after he put my tech around his neck. He did the Reiki, and the dog dementia. One of the dogs dementia went away, and the other one started running. He started doing the Reiki on some of his sheep. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him. He was really excited about that shit. Like, yo, his meditations became grounded. The symmetrical alignment that you experience. You put the tech around your neck. It lines up every electron in your body. That's why I talk about the self-inventory part, knowing the facets of the body. You ain't got to be like Yaki Awakening. You don't got to be Dougal Hauser MD. You have to have a bachelor in surgery. You just need to have a generalization. And I gave up that. I had to give props to my man, Athens Theory. He wrote the book God is in the Neuron. And if you watch God is in the Neurons on YouTube. Watch God is in the Neurons, because he takes you to how a neuron activates or how it operates, how it moves through the axon terminals of the neural pathways and exits out the dendrites, which are the nerve endings in your brain that sends the neural. He show you all of that shit. He got a Nobel Peace Prize too. And it wasn't for that book. But he's a pretty bright dude, you know. I first encountered Athens Theory online when he had to be about man, damn allergy fucking with me. He had to be about 26 when I came across him. Right? He had just won a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know what I was looking up, but I looked into him. They said that he was an author of a book, God is in the Neurons, and I looked it up, and the YouTube popped up. I said, "Oh, so YouTube," and very well represented, man. Y'all gotta watch that shit. It make you fascinated about how the body works. And I was already on that type of time. I was taking like 1,200 milligrams of gold Ethereum every other day. So I was looking for things to absorb. And that's what we're going to talk about in the second end of the second day of the seminar, is the difference between processing information and just absorbing it. Because prior to you going to preschool, you used to just absorb information. You didn't, you didn't have to sit down and get, the way that they teach you in school. You just absorbed shit. And we're going to talk about going back into that and operating with that type of, or going towards it in that way, because you can absorb information. I'm going to show you guys about speed reading. I took a speed reading course back in the late 90s. Paid about $400 for it. That was then. You hear me? This shit worked, man. The people in my community can attest for the stuff that I do show them, and then this shit fucking work. It's like, yo, if you kind of do it, it's gonna kind of work. If you really do it, then it's really gonna work. It really does. You know what I'm saying? And I always get that disclaimer: I don't mess with I don't mess with no Baphomet, no dark magic. I don't mess with no Lucifer, no Satan. I don't mess with pentagrams or hexagrams. And I had to say that to compensate for your own ego. Because when stuff start happening for you, and you doing the stuff that I say, and it's going beyond the range of explanation, I don't want you to be thinking that it's something dark at play, because it don't be. That's just you. That's how powerful you are, and you're just not aware of yourself at that level. I told y'all, I'm here to wake up that lion in you. I'm here to wake up that tiger in you, that eagle, that phoenix bird in you. I'm here to wake that motherfucker up. And I'm going to wake it up if it's laying dormant, if you're struggling with something. I had one sister. She hasn't been in the community in a while. And, you know, I told y'all, when y'all purchase some Orgon from my website, I'm going to call you, right? I'm going to call you. I might not call you as soon as you order, but I will call you within a day or two. And I had one sister, she was struggling with procrastination. She told me that. She was like, I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not living up to her fullest potential. And she told me that she was inspired by the way that I'm able to just dive out there and everything, right? So I told her to come on out to seminar, and she missed a couple of seminars, but she said, hey, Doc, I want to come to your seminar. When is it going to be? Is it too late to get tickets? I was like, no, get your ticket. Came on out the seminar. I hit the sister with the staff, right? 8 days later, she done shot a damn music video. And she been in the studio. and it wasn't that. I was like, damn, this shit looked pretty good. When the fuck he was doing this? She was like, this is what I was procrastinating about doing. And I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. Right? The next time she came out, she called me. She called me in the middle of the seminar. You remember that, D? You remember that sister? Little short chocolate petite girl. And she done moved to Atlanta. I didn't even know. She was like, oh, I forgot to tell you, Doc. I didn't even leave Atlanta. I said, what? She was like, yeah, I just stayed here. Now she had a little studio, a Tyler Perry studio and shit. She was working on some movie or some bush. I was like, damn. She was like, yeah. But sometimes people just need that nudge, or they just need that little spark. You read her with the staff alignment. I never asked about, about her. I asked about some people, but I don't ask about everybody. Yeah, but she been on a good foot. I talked to her another time too. And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna get up with you later. Yeah, but she all into the movies and all that shit now. And not like to be an actor or nothing. She worked behind the scenes and be doing all type of shit. But I had no clue that she knew how to work a camera and do all that. I had no clue. Even the music was good. And the guy that she had bought, to the seminar, he was pretty good too with his music. But that's what happens. I had no clue that that's what she was talking about. But she did tell me that she suffered with that. I got another student that's like that. Paris. That's right, Paris. I'm going to call your ass out. Your procrastinating ass. Come get hit with that staff, girl. So we can clear that shit. Come out of that. So many people are satisfied with living within the means of a limitation when you're an unlimited being. And you never know. See, there's certain people that need to hear your voice, or that need to see you, or that need to hear things a certain way that only you could put it. And you're missing those timelines that's going to align you with those people. And what I do is I accelerate you towards all them timelines that you been kept fucking missing. So you could be in the range and to have the best opportunity to hit all those people to say the exact things that you're saying. Because it ain't about what's happening right now. It's what's gonna happen later, right? Shouts out to AP. You know, AP, after he got hit with the stab, he became the damn he became the head coach. He started coaching AAU ball. Right? First they just needed him to be an assistant. Then they like, hey man, we need you to sit on in. Then he just started they really wanted him to be a part of it, and all the boys took to him. But it was like, yo, they needed him. They needed to hear something that he had to say. Not just for right then when they was playing, but it might be something that's gonna help them and serve them years down the line. But if he never came across me, he probably had never came across them boys in that mannerism. Meaning that his son still could be playing basketball and all that, but he might not have said something that he ended up saying in the capacity where it made them people look at him and like, yo, man, we want you to be a coach. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. You just never know what it is that you're supposed to be doing if you don't have something in mind on that you won't intend to, right? But that staff opened out all of that stuff up for people. It's been more beneficial. Uh, Shouts out to AB. Shouts out to AB too. AB, I don't be on Facebook like that, but on my brother Ray or Dr.Ré page on the Facebook, I had got a bunch of notifications, so I was just going to clear the notifications out. And I seen that what your boss posted about you, Aaron. I seen that shit. Well, you see me, I commented on it, but it was showing me something that you was tagged in. And the dude was like, man, this is one guy that didn't give up at the beginning. It was Aaron. And, yo, and that's since he got hit with that stab. I'm not saying that he wasn't doing his thing, but you could just check the timeline. I was like, damn, man. And the way that he came into my life, you know, his grandmother came to me, his great great grandmother. She was a Haitian, and she got some powerful hiccup with her. She took over my full YouTube, woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and everything. I was like, damn, who the fuck is this? Hey, this lady kind of powerful. I don't know who the fuck. And she was like, you had to talk to my boy. That's what she called him. And I was like, who is her boy? And it ended up being him. So you just watched Hecka last night, the sound. Oh yeah. The sound, that's the personification. That's the words of power. He said you watch it on YouTube. I ain't even know about that, but I'm gonna check it out. I mean, I be in alignment, TiVo. It's just, man, I'm a master of alignment, my brother. I be operating with them higher senses, and we all do. It's just that you have to just allow. That's the fourth gate of radiology within the 1089 manual. You got to allow things to happen. If you allow, allowing will acquire an allowance, and you will be a recipient of the allowing. That's why they call it allowance, you know? But that be our whole, yeah, just let go. That's what we messed up. We think we got to control everything. We think we got to determine. And existence be like, yo, hold on, let me help your ass. You like, nah, move, existence. Even the planet will throw your ass a bone. And you be like, no, move out the way. I got this shit. It's like, no, let that shit help you. Let people help you and assist you. That's something I used to struggle with. You know, I speak from experience. I told y'all 90% of what I say be from experience. But they're like, damn, man, shit. I just gotta know exactly how. It's like, nah, man, get the fuck back. Watch out. You know what I mean? Shouts out to DIs. DIs be coming through. Like, Doc, don't you worry about that. You just need to worry about the shit. We got this shit. You good. You know what I mean? It took some time for me to let people just start doing stuff for me, you know. Yep, and I appreciate it too. But everybody be wanting to do, you know, all my people in the community. They just show so much love, you know, and I look forward to seeing you guys all the time. You know that. I look forward to it, and I'm a hug on y'all and laugh and shit. Yeah, thank you, D. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate seeing AB. Me and AB be talking shit to each other, playing pool. you know, Kicking it with AB. I mean with AP. You know, Ragu, he always laughing. You know, these are real connections. They're not online connections. And I think COVID made people stop connecting. You know, it kind of separated us from the humanism that we do have in common. Now everybody truly stuck in their phones because you've been in your house for 2 years looking in your damn phone all the damn time. And you develop the neuroplasticity to make you prioritize looking in your phone rather than connecting with somebody. Because the one thing I noticed, and this is the first time I said this, when we all together, no one is ever on their phone. Nobody on their phone. You ever notice that, D? Nobody be on the damn phone. Nobody on the phone. Ain't no phones. Everybody just connecting with one another and having fun, you know. But we gonna do a day with Ray. Um, one of the pupils, he got a 14 passenger Sprinter van, and I guess we'll use that Sprinter van when we go do karaoke. We'll do a karaoke night. I will attempt to wrap things. We're gonna deduce the order D this time and try to have everything cleared out prior to the time that we're saying that we're gonna do it. Just so we could do some post seminar events after the event. You know what I mean? If everybody want to go get a drink or go bowling or whatever the fuck is over there, you know, or for those people that want to go back to the Jeju. That Jeju something else. If for the ladies that go out that's coming from out of town, if you've never been to Jeju, this shit about to turn you out. You definitely gonna go there. You gonna anytime you go to Atlanta, you gonna make sure you go there. After you leave Jeju, it feel like you took a permanent bath. I'm gonna say that one more time. After you leave Jeju, it feel like you took a permanent bath. And that feeling take about 7 days to wear off. That's how clean, you know. Yeah, it's some next level shit, you know. And to be honest with you, it's the main reason why I was willing to come back to Atlanta and do Atlanta again. Like, okay, we're gonna go back to Atlanta. And it's pretty much for JG. Not just because of that, but pretty much it is. Because I ain't go last year. I was like, damn, I ain't been to JG. What the fuck am I doing? I make that shit my business every year. I've been staying away from Atlanta 10 years. And I still make my way sometimes twice a year. Just so I could do that. But most people I turned on to that, they do that like that too. They go back. You don't have to go with me once you see it. once you get the protocol and the guidelines, shit, you do what the hell you want to do. But that's what I do at these events. Outside of the event itself, is I introduce people, to the metaphysical pockets in Atlanta. The crystal stores. I want to go. Shouts out to Phoenix and Dragons. They got the largest amount of crystals in the southeast region of the country, and they got the best prices too. People always say, "Hey, how come you don't sell crystals?" That's not what I do. I make orgone, and I perfected it, and I know how to project the hickas into the orgone. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Please, I gotta be there." Oh yeah, we be up in that mud. Sometimes people be wanting to leave too soon. I gotta say that, man. Some of you, when we go to the Phoenix and Dragons, but I think it's because we don't all come together. So shouts out to Shamari for getting that Sprinter van, because with the Sprinter we'll all arrive at the same time and we can all leave at the same time. But I like staying up in Phoenix and Dragons. I could be up in there all day, really. I could be up in there all day. They do got a lot of witches and warlocks that come through there. The fairy, some fairies, the fairy girls and shit. Sometimes they got clairvoyants in the building and telepaths. These are people that really do got that range like that. They be up in there. But some people never been exposed to that. For those that's plant-based and that like to have they stuff like that, we take you by 7 Nanda if it's time. Or you can go on your own, either or. But 7 Nanda is a holistic, vegan-based grocery store. He said, the owner gave her the whole tour in the back of the shop. I bet that motherfucker is. You talking about the 7 Under? Oh, no, you talking about at the Phoenix and Dragons. Yeah. I bet that motherfucker did. Yeah, they be on that psychic shit. They be they be down there. That's the area with the Scientology community. Them crazy motherfuckers. They up in that area. I'm not saying that those people Scientology, but they be up in that area too. The Roswell area. Come on, girl. You want to go outside? Or you want a treat? You want to go outside? You want a treat? I'll give you a little treat. Your ass be wanting that treat, boy. Yeah, like I was saying, though, yeah, years ago, I used to go up in that area and I was doing a lot of work. I used to clean parking lots, right? I used to be a street sweeper. And it was these flyers up at the place that I used to empty their trash and, clean the parking lot and shit. And somebody had scattered the flyers everywhere. I'm like, that's fucked up, man. Why they do that? I picked it up and it said, Galactical Channeler, limited time only. Please come for this event. And it was letting you know like a month in advance. But I seen it everywhere. But somebody had, I guess it might have been one of them Christian groups or something. But they took all the lady shit down. Like you seen it everywhere. I had to pick all that bullshit up, right? I'm like, I started reading that shit, and she was like, yeah, she's channeling beings from another dimension. You know, she was talking on the fifth dimension in, you know, fifth dimensional channeler. Um, she's in tune with the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and some other group. But when I tell you, like I paid $250. I paid $250 for to come to this event. When I showed up there, it was only 8 people. I want to say it was about 8 of us in there. And she told us her name. It was like, okay. The child, she's like, I'm just gonna pull the shades closed and I'm gonna let dim the lights a little bit. That lady closed the shades and dimmed the light, and I swear her eyes turned as blue as this shit on the back of it. And you could see every vein in her neck, and she was channeling the whole time. I got chills through my body through the whole 3 hours of shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck was this? But I wanted to see. I was like, shit. And that was $250 back then. A $250 back in 2000 and, well, let's just say that was like 2002. You hear me? That was 24 years ago. And I paid $250 for the ticket. And that lady was off the chain. She said a lot of little galactical information. And then that shit ended and she came right back to normal. I was like, yo, what the fuck? She was like, thank you so much for coming. She was real calm. But that was the realest channel that I seen out of somebody saying like, oh, I'm going to channel. Then I seen 2 other people after that. They wasn't nothing like this lady. One of them was on some bullshit. I was like, man, I want my money back. What the fuck was that? I was like, man, you could have just opened your eyes and did that shit. This lady eyes changed color. Her eyes changed. You could see the veins on her neck was popping. You could tell something that took this broad over. And she did not stop. She didn't take a break. She didn't drink no water. You know what I mean? She didn't have to go to the bathroom. I was like, damn. Yeah, the veins in her neck was popping out and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Over there on Roswell Road. This was way back in the day. You know, it was way back in the day. But that's where the Scientology people, the Scientology community is over there. They got a big community there. It'd be a lot of witches and warlocks and psychics and shit like that. And I was just telling how a lady was putting flyers out. And I guess some Christian zealots, because they got a lot of Catholic church in that area too. They had tore down all her flyers. And I picked that flyer up. I kept seeing them, and then I read it. I was like, man, let me see what this shit about. I'm gonna go to this shit. I saved my little shekels just so I can go. You know, I twisted up a little spliff. Yeah, I twisted me up a spliff and was like, man, let me go watch this shit. See what the hell happened. This might be some bullshit. I got up in there and they was like, yeah, would you like some tea? They had some nice hibiscus tea, you know, some cookies and some little cakes and shit for you to eat. She was like, I'm just gonna pour the shade down. And man, she pulled down that shade and turned that light off, or she turned it down. Man, her eyes got big as fuck. I never seen nothing like that. That's when I already knew there wasn't no game, because I got a mystical teacher, a mystical guy. You know, that's a mystical master. I done seen some shit. But aside from me seeing some shit within that capacity, no, this was after the land. What, the land hadn't shut down by then? Nope, the land hadn't shut down then. But it was near the end of that. It was near that time. And, you know, I'm just always been that type of person. I don't mind. I'm very open-minded, especially if a person has some type of presentation or they say that they're a channeler. You know, I've been in that shit since the 90s, like 97, 96 really. That's when my curiosity was really started to open all the way up. And I was like, all right, because I was done with the religious context of things. You know, I hadn't been, the institutionalism of religion had wore off and I was exploring. But by 2002, I was kind of seasoned in my exploring. So I don't mind going to an event. And that lady fucking turned into something else. Something was in her. See how Bashar be all like, I'm Bashar, hello. Oh, go ahead. And this dude got to keep his eyes all closed. He's struggling to make that connection. This lady was not struggling with shit. And her eyes wasn't closed and none of that shit. And she did not stop talking. That's how you knew something had taken this broad over, because she did not stop talking. She was talking the whole time, and the points was just clicking the whole time. I was like, damn. Now, another time, I found another lady, and she had her flyers up and shit, and she wanted $450 for one day, and it was only 2 hours. This lady did at least 3 hours. It was really closer to 4. But this lady only did 2 hours. She wanted $450. I was like, man, she must about to turn into the devil or something. I was like, this motherfucker, based on the last lady I seen, she must really got some shit. You must go turn into a ball of light or something. So I went on in there and shit, and it was some bullshit, man. I was like, man, just the first 30 minutes into it, I was done. I was done 30 minutes into it. I was like, man, I'm paying for this broad child Catholic school or some shit. That's what this shit about. It was about 40 people there. You know what I mean? I was like, this was some bullshit. And I never found that little lady again. Like the people that let her use the little office to do it, they was like, no, we haven't seen from her. I was like, damn, she ain't have a website or nothing. That shit be like that, man. And that's what I talk about as far as windows of opportunity. Because when those windows of opportunity present itself, you have to just jump on them. If you don't, who's to say that stuff will be there waiting for you next time? Who's to say you don't get thrown a course and you don't end up, it be years later like, damn, yeah, I remember that. It's like, that's how it be. But I definitely want to show you guys the higher aspects of absorbing information, speed reading, the techniques that you can use to do it, and how to trust your capability of accessing that aspect of the utilities of your higher senses, right? Because you can. It's just you gotta stop second guessing yourself, right? That's why I aim the staff at your brow chakra. I clear that shit up first, because I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna clear your psychic center. At the end of the day, that shit is getting cleared. You just gotta stop listening to your second mind. Stop third guessing yourself. Stop fourth guessing yourself. Stop operating the fear. Stop letting the fear overwhelm this area, right? Because you could course correct whatever the fuck. You could come up with an answer. You are the solution to whatever the fuck is making you fear or doubt or be uncertain. And that's all to be missing with a lot of people. It's like, yo, that's it. Go ahead and do your thing. I helped one brother. He was homeless. He didn't have nowhere to go, man. I watched this. He had one leg, and he was homeless. I told this story before. My man Rico. Shouts out to Rico. Not Ricky Rodriguez. It's another Rico. Man, D.I.'s been there most of the time. D ain't going nowhere. Shouts out to D.I.'s. That dude had one leg. His shit had been cut to the femur bone. because of that COVID bullshit. I don't know if you're still on there. The only reason I bring him up, you kind of look like him. Fuck off 2.0. Kind of look. I know that he not him, but kind of remind me of him. And that dude got into the community off the little off of a pop socket. I let him on into the community, and he came to Money Making Mondays. And that nigga didn't look back. He ended up with I want to say two vans, some custodial. He got some janitorial contracts, and didn't look back. Last time I talked to him, he was like, "Yeah, I just built a studio for my son. I'm back on my feet now. You know, thank you for everything that you showed me and was doing for me, man. I really did benefit." That nigga really did benefit for that shit. And he got the fuck on, like, shit, nigga, I'm up out of here. I ain't trying to do all that other shit. Yeah, but he had the little dark shit on his fingernails and shit. And I ain't gonna divulge. He going through a thing. Some people can't handle it, man. But he not doing bad. He not homeless. You know what I mean? His life in order. And he ain't let his leg get chopped off stop him from moving forward either. Right? You know, it's like Jordan Belfort. You know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jordan Belfort, but Jordan Belfort, he was depicted by Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. That's who Jordan Belfort is, and he had a very, you know, he had this saying. I found it to be quite profound, and what he said was, the only thing that's stopping you from doing the things that you want to do in life is the bullshit excuses you keep telling yourself. That's the only thing that's stopping you from doing whatever it is you want to do in life. You know, it's way too right on. There go AB. AB then popped in the room. What's up, AB? I was just talking about you. I wasn't saying nothing bad, AB. I didn't say nothing about our pool game or nothing. But there you go. What I was saying is I seen what your boss had to say about you. You know, the testimony he gave about you. That shit was real moving. And, you know, I didn't know all of that. But, you know, salute to you. And he seen that shit like, yo, I don't know what the fuck out of this dude, but he on some next shit. His ancestors got around him and started lining shit up for that man and moving shit out the way. You know? But yeah, it's a real thing, you guys. Like I said, those windows of opportunity, many of those people have taken those quantum leaps, right? and and it just puts you on a better timeline, and you're gonna gain the confidence. Now, this is like our 12th event, so for some of you guys, this will be your first one. Uh, it's a lot of things that we covered prior, leading up to it, and then even beyond here, because we about to start taking it to a higher level and going into extra sensory perceptional ranges. You know, we're gonna start strengthening those cerebral zones of activity, and you know, it ain't no turning back from it, right? So, like I tell y'all, this is spiritual application, result based, effort based information. You know, you can't just be a thinker. You just can't know something. You got to do something, and based on how you do it, you kind of do it. It's kind of work. If you really do it, then it's really going to work. You hear me? That's just what it is. And I give it to you. Y'all see it with no chaser. I'm putting no chaser on that shit. So you follow the directions, the instructions concisely. You know, the results is gone. They speak for themselves. The results speak for themselves. But most people be having is the psychic center. Your psychic center just blocked. That's what it is. You know, and the shit work. All the way up to the discourse, which we're going to do that in July. You could take the discourse before the end once you got tech and come into our community. Let me get that prerequisite too. You had to, the prerequisite to taking our discourse, you had to be a part of the community. I won't even allow people because too many people come as wolves in sheep clothing. Um, the attempt to get the information that I have and say, how do you join? You got to purchase a piece of tech. If you come into the seminar, to the event, don't worry about it. Just buy a piece of tech there. I'm just I'm just saying, like if you gonna be there, it's gonna be cheaper. Yeah, but you go to 1089techvision.com. If you want to just support the platform and do purchase something, go ahead. But yeah, that sets you on the course to taking my discourse. And you know, the people that have been working with the altar, they getting, man, that's what the altar means. It alters your life. It's gonna alter things. Change it around. They move shit out the way for you. A lot of times, some of you guys that be experiencing a lot of blockages, what you calling blockages or misinterpreting as a block, it's your own dearly departed setting you back because you're not paying attention to the messages that they sending. And a lot of times you're being prompted to connect to their spirit and you're not doing it, you know. And so what they'll end up doing is attempting, this be like the last hurrah before you piss them off. And I'm talking about the ancestors, not your dearly departed. In some cases, it be your dearly departed, but in other places, it's your ancestors. And primarily because you're not operating on the blueprint that has been faded for you when you decided to incarnate, when you made that contractual obligation. You done went off the deep end of what you were supposed to be doing for that bloodline, right? That's why you can't allow the external influences of this reality to get the best of you, right? You can't, because it was already something ordained for you to be doing. And a lot of times we tend to say, I want to do what I want to do when the writing is on the wall of what you should be doing. And when you don't do it, you know, they'll take offense to that. They may turn their back on you. And there are beings outside the visible spectrum that see that shit happen and they go get on your ass. So they like, yo, you ain't even trying to do nothing. So shit, ain't nothing protecting you either. Shit, we want to feed. Then you got another group of beings say, yo, you don't want to have an impact on this reality? Well, let me have an impact on you then. And let me do something with you that you're not going to even want to do with yourself. But it's a lot of, not just levels to this shit, it's layers. And if you're not willing to go through the levels of layers, then it's a lot that you will miss. But most people don't, they don't come across, you're not going to come across me in person. I'm not somebody you just going to bump into at the grocery store. You're not going to do that. You're just not, you know. Only way you're going to bump into me in the grocery store, I did have somebody see me at the Walmart one time. It was like, yo, that's Dr.Ré. I was like, damn. That shit kind of bugged me out. You know what I mean? But other people will see me and they'll see me with this on. They be like, yo, I always see you got on. What is that all about? Is that some type of fraternity or something? I like, no, this is my brand. They're like, it's your brand? I said, yeah. Go look at my website. And they be like, you got a TikTok? I was like, yeah, I got a TikTok. They be like, holy shit, you got a lot of followers. Like, yeah, but it should be way more, but I am appreciative. I'm not gonna sit up there and act like I ain't appreciative of the following that I've acquired, right? I appreciate it. I don't take that for granted. It's just letting me know how many people paying attention. Even if they don't say nothing, even if they just sit on the other side of the wall so they don't be accounted for. I know that could be a little bit too intense for some people. Like, oh shit, this nigga watching. God damn, I ain't going in there. Stay on this end of the wall. It's 11:11, you guys. We're gonna call the 99 Natural and I'm gonna get on off of here. Abdul Cool Tafalat. Why Bazoon be by Moel Kalum? Who partner to that? Minu Nu Cheu Kawun. It'll be who? Dr.Ré. No, Nunet, he had. Ket, Kiket, Amunet. Atum, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, Nut, Oset, Osaru. Neptet, Satuk, Haru, Happy, Anquid, Anti, Nefertum. Mantu, Bepti, Sekmet, Head Hard Best, Ptah. Bass, Amhotep. Who, Me Hurt, Kefri. Meskahenit, Riot, Kentamintu. Ika, Neve, Mayat, Renintat, Shah, Sishat, Mafdat, Sobek, Anubu. Kanum, Kansu, Tanin. Sia, Hiket, Amsu, Sarapi. Atun Ray. Tahuti. Taret, Selket, Ha. Nehebka, Sokar, Bait. Akir. Ani Hirit. Wab Wawit. Sikat, Hetep. Maresgir. Sia. Get it. Astinu. Bahutit. Kanemtet. Menket Him. Badudi Kabasinu. Duamutef. Merit. Ura Edu Nikabit. Sikat Anuket Jet. Tim Uwas Uku. Anku Apnuit. Sacha Sekti. Imta. Nina. Imiwet. Mseti. K Mamu. Ray Chef. And Mary. Amun Ray. For the sake of all. Kawu. Tua. Every night, got to give it on up for them. Got to give it up for the 99 Natural. We going to get up out of here, y'all. I've been your beloved brother, Dr.Ré, for OrgoniteTEK on behalf of the 1089 Tech community and the AAA Academy and alumni. May the ancestors be with you. May the Most High El bless you with a peaceful night rest and an early rise in the AM. See you guys tomorrow for Money Making Mondays. And after we finish that, we'll come on to TikTok. But enjoy your evening. Waduk.